Okay, well, it is morning one of our injections for stimulation. So we are doing Gonal F this morning, and I'm going to do 375 IUs. This is a 900 dosed pen. It's a pre-dosed Redi jet pen. So we will dial up 375 and do my first injection for stimulation for round 2. So in here they have the pen, which we will dose up here to 375. And then we have a bunch of needle caps in here that will actually be the needles that we'll use to inject. So we will be using these needles. And then again, it's the pre-dosed pen. It's a little cold still. But let's see, what we're gonna do is check out the pen and make sure there's no big bubbles up in the reservoir and that everything is clear and clean. Doesn't look like there's any big bubbles in the reservoir, which is good. There was, we'd dial it to 25 and try to get that out, but everything looks good there. Let's see. So it's clear and we have no bubbles. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this and put on the needle cap, and then I will clean my stomach and do the injection. So there's actually no bubbles in here, which is what we want to see. Liquid is clear. So it's our first shot of round 2. Very exciting, a little nerve-wracking, but we're anxious. Okay, and so then I take the needle that comes with it and go ahead and put that on the cap here. They screw in very easily. Don't want to over screw, but then what we can do is take off this shield, it's just a plastic shield, and then there's the actual needle cap inside, which is the green needle. So we'll want to make sure we don't touch that until we're totally ready. I'm going to dial my dose up to 375, which is what I've been instructed to do for our first dose. So super easy. You just turn this little dial and we can see there that the window says 375. Will it focus on that? Let's see. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Put your hand behind it or something silly. 375. Well, either way, you can see that, I think. 375. So that will be our first dose. So it's a big deal. Just want to make sure, I'll check my paperwork 1,000 times, but we're definitely doing 375 of Gonal. Gonal F and the Redi jet, so 375. So here we go. We're gonna clean our injection site. I always just want to go in one direction, they tell you. All right, so it's just a tiny needle, so it's not so bad, but usually grab a little bit of skin. And we are right on time at 8:01. All right, and the important thing is to hold it in there at a 90-degree angle until it's depressed completely. And so I do see a little bubble liquid coming out of the top of the needle, so that's a good sign. So 1, 2, 3. And then we just inject all the way down. And I hold that in my stomach to see. And it should read 0. I can't tell. Justin, can you see if it reads 0? I think it's on the other window. Put it in the wrong way. Just so you can't see it.
It's on 0.
All right, so 0. So we like to hold it in there for a little longer just to make sure. They say 30 seconds. All right, I can depress it and take the needle out. And we are at 0. So there we go for our first injection round 2. And then take the needle off. It's super simple. You just put your needle in there, place it against a hard surface or the wall, or here you can cap it. And then you simply just twist off that needle, and that goes in our sharps container, And this goes back in the refrigerator. We will cap this again because there is an additional couple doses in here since it was a 900 unit. And we will do our Menopure tonight. So that's shot 1 in the books. All right, so now that we have done our first injection of Gonal for our round 2, I am pretty strict about keeping a diary or journal and notes on what is happening on a day-to-day basis. So I've already pre-filled out my doses for the next 5 days. So we have Gonal in the morning and Menopure at night. And then I have a blood draw on Monday. So before I go to my second sonogram, an ultrasound, and so I've pre-filled out all of my information. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the time that we did the Gonal F, and then highlight that with a pink highlighter to know that I did that for my morning shot. And then for this evening, we'll do the Menopure. What's really important about these 2 stimulation drugs is that they're done at the same time every day, so 12 hours apart, and that they have to be done within the same time frame. So I chose 8 and 8, so it's really important that you stick to your schedule, but having a journal really helps. I kind of do it over redundant just to make sure there's no questions and I'm comfortable with the process. And then also with the Gonal F, they do give you these kind of cool little treatment diaries as well that come with them. Because I'm going to be multiple dosing myself with 1 pen. I wanted to make sure I don't run out of medicine or that I have the right calculations. So I also did a chart that I'll insert and show you guys, but I did a chart in Excel that I can put the number of pens that I have in, what their units are, and then tick down my treatment schedule just to make sure that we have enough medicine if I need to reorder prior to any of our redosing. So I'll go ahead and fill out this little diary as well and keep that with our pens. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and write in here the time that we did that this morning, which was 8:01. And then I'm shooting again for the 8 o'clock hour, so that was pretty, at 8 o'clock time, so that was pretty right on. So I'll just go ahead and mark that time here and then highlight it. To make sure that I know I've done my shot for the morning. And I'll highlight that pink for daytime. You can certainly use your own colors. I choose to do pink for morning, blue for evening, depending on if I'm taking medicine vaginally or orally. I'll use different colors and have a little cheat sheet. And one thing that I did find that makes things a lot easier for me is that they're erasable pens and erasable highlighters. They actually make erasable highlighters. It's crazy cool. But for me, it really made things a lot easier knowing that I can change my treatment if I pre-do my book and I don't have to have a bunch of scribbles. I can make it look really pretty and clean. And you know, there we go. So day 1, shot 1 in the books. We'll do the evening tonight and then go forward with the rest of our schedule. And then on Monday, we have a follow-up appointment to get another ultrasound and sonogram, or one and the same, to check the growth of my follicles after 5 days of stimulation. So that's it for this morning. I'm gonna go drink my tea and get back to work.